and not fight him.
So 11 to 10 the field on the off. Richard.
Yes, Edwardstone lining up far closer than is often the case. Now, as his horse is alongside him, will he settle or not? Or is he going to try and make his own running? Edwardstone on the right-hand side. Amarillo Sky, who might be a bit fresh off the return. In the black and yellow colours, they arrive at the first together. Fernamble Civilla. Boot Hill, who was a bit scruffy over the first. So heading towards the second, Edwardstone. Change of tactics, Tom Cannon cutting out the running. Amarillo Sky on the left-hand side, returning to action after this absence of over a year, as Edwardstone flies the second. Fernamble Civilla tidy in third, and Boot Hill held on to last of the four. So Edwardstone heading towards the water jump, made his intentions plain here, leads by 3 lengths. Amarillo Sky in second place, and Edwardstone jumps that really well. The whole field are over. So change of tactics under Edwardstone, Ruby.
Right now, you say it's a good call from Tom Cannon. He's his 2 ears pricked, he's looking where he's going, and he seems to be enjoying himself now. Until he wins the race, you don't know if it's the right thing, but if you're watching it now, you must certainly think it is.
I say that, actually, just as he turned away from the stands, he has picked up that bridle a little bit more than he did, and he's just fighting Tom a touch here. Amarillo Sky about 6 to 7 lengths down, Fernamble Civilla and Boot Hill. Edwardstone is good over the first in the back, the whole field are good. About 12 lengths top to bottom now, as Edwardstone heading on towards the open ditch with a clear advantage here for Amarillo Sky. Arches his back well over that. Amarillo Sky in second, Fernamble Civilla further 5 lengths back, and Boot Hill. His rider Jonathan Burke now faces a little bit of a dilemma as to when to try and close down Edwardstone or keep his powder dry till later on. Edwardstone is full of verve and fire at the moment. Will that still be the case in round about 10 furlongs time? So out in the lead, it is Edwardstone, and that lead is a big one. It is about 10, maybe even 12 lengths. You'll count the seconds when they rise. It's going to be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, so that's 16 lengths or so from in second place Amarillo Sky. Fernamble Civilla on the left-hand side, and Boot Hill just now moving closer in the chasing pack. So Edwardstone towards the next fence, and again is over well enough. Amarillo Sky second, Fernamble Civilla looking to make it a hat-trick of victories in the race, and Boot Hill now travelling up with a degree of purpose as the 3 of them just begin to nibble away at Edwardstone's lead as they race now out of the back straight and turn towards the cross fence. Edwardstone leading, 6 to 7 lengths clear. Amarillo Sky in second, Boot Hill third, Fernamble Civilla. Charlie Deutsch just a little bit lower in the saddle here, so Tom Cannon trying to persuade Edwardstone to preserve as much energy as possible. Amarillo Sky in second, Boot Hill still travels strongly. He's yet to be asked, as Edwardstone continuing, crucially, to meet his fences on good strides, and Boot Hill just shaken up in the chasing pack for the first time. He does pick up the bridle, however, move past Amarillo Sky, and now the chase is on. Tom Cannon looks behind him, so he is out in the lead. He's the one to catch. Boot Hill about 8 lengths back. Amarillo Sky and then Fernamble Civilla. 4 fences to take. Edwardstone still travelling strongly, heading towards the 4th last. Boot Hill hasn't made great inroads into it yet. It's still 8 lengths down. His rider just a little lower in the saddle, asking to chase. Tom Cannon still sitting very quietly. He is the mouse. The cat behind is Boot Hill, who's got to within 6 or 7 lengths, but landed quite steeply there, and at the moment isn't closing fast enough. And if anything, may not be closing at all, as Edwardstone is at the second last, and that lead, I think's grown, and Boot Hill makes a mistake. He was getting tired, he plunged at the fence, he came down. Hopefully he will be okay. Jonathan Burke's up okay, horse is up okay. Edwardstone down towards the last. Measured them all beautifully so far, and that is mission accomplished. Fernamble Civilla is the only other one to finish, actually, because pulled up was Amarillo Sky. Not sure whether he got involved in the backwash of that as Boot Hill tried to get to his feet. He's actually been dismounted, so we're only going to have 2 that finish here. Edwardstone, change of tactics, jumped really well. He's actually finished still looking comparatively fresh here, and he's breezed clear. Fernamble Civilla in second place. Just to confirm, Boot Hill is up okay, Jonathan Burke's up okay. However, Amarillo Sky was pulled up sharply and is dismounted by Brendan Powell off the back of an absence, so let's hope he is okay. But Edwardstone puts himself back in the Queen Mother Champion chase picture, and let's hope everything is all right with Amarillo Sky.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. New tactics work well.
Oh, worked very well. I just love the fact that Tom Cannon dropped his hands and let him bowl along rather than fighting him the whole way. A couple of jumps were heart-in-mouth moments, but ultimately he was very impressive, and that spark looked to be reignited.
And Alex, it was a real cat and mouse in the straight, wasn't it?
Oh, that was so cool to see. And your smile just said it all.
I'm delighted for him. You know, he's run against John Bon a couple of times. You know, obviously going up in trip was a scratch that probably needed to be itched from all of our perspective. You know, me, Kingy and the owners. But I think on his day he's as quick a 2 mile as you'll get, and hopefully showed a bit of it there.
And change of tactics, you just thought, let's keep it simple, let's just crack on.
Yeah, I mean, I was tempted after Tingle Creek. You know, I mentioned it about maybe changing tactics, but we had to try going up in trip, you know, first, and obviously that didn't work out. You know, he's a very strong traveller. He jumps like a 2 miler, and today I was, you know, the plan was to go forward with him, and I was probably his, you know, out of control most of the way, to be honest. But he seemed to enjoy himself, so I'm delighted.
Yeah, because when you stepped him up to 2.5, he just resented going that half gear slower, didn't he?
He was fine early on, but you know, we went quick early in the race at Kempton. When they slowed it down, going past the winning line the first time, he locked on, and I had a bit of a wrestle with him then. But you know, that suits him a bit better, 2 miles, and you know, it sees him to better light anyway. Yeah,
and the great thing is he's 2 miles, but with that edge of stamina.
Yeah, he's all speed, to be honest. Like, he is all speed to ride. You know, to be a good 2 mile, I think you have to stay well. But on his day, you know, he's as quick as you'll get from A to B, definitely.
That must have been some buzz, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. And it was great for the horse as well, because you know, he's probably had his knockers, and you know, he's been up against John Bon a couple of times and run well, and you know, that was a true showing there of what he's really capable of. So I'm delighted.
Roll on, Cheltenham.
Yeah. Right.
Well done.
And he's shortened for the champion chase. The sponsors today, Betfair, go 10 from 16. William Hill at 10. Coral at 8. Is he a champion chase player once again, Mick? And could they, when you look at the field for the champion chase, pull off these tactics again?
Look, they can certainly have a go. You've got John Bon, Editor of the G, who are, you know, horses who race forward. But then, you know, El Fabiolo's rider Paul Town will be delighted, because another horse to set the race up for him, I think. You know, look, he's just fallen short of the very top in a champion chase previously. And what we've seen of him today, he certainly gives himself a different, almost like arrow to fire from the bow. But at the same time, I just feel that he might just be a little bit short.
Alan King will be relieved. Back on track. The horse that was once third in a Betfair hurdle here at Newbury. High Point was winning the 2022 Tingle Creek. He's won at the Cheltenham Festival, of course. But it's a totally different ballgame now, El Fabiolo and John Bon, to what he's been up against today.